Hello all and welcome to episode 40 of the 3 for 1 podcast by Fantasy Football Hub as we settle down for the coming weeks with our carefully laid planned overhaul teams and even more carefully arranged Valentine plans with the other halves, with us being here on a Sunday evening. My name is Fergie and I'm joined by two of the most successful Sky managers in the game. Firstly, Paul McAnulty. A pretty standard fantasy weekend, Paul? How did you do?
Yeah, not the best.
Sorry, mate. You have to speak up a little bit. I apologise. You have to speak up a little bit. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
I made some changes after trying to minimise the amount of transfers I'm going to do over the next 2 or 3 weeks, and just maybe hard a little couple of weeks ago to see how it plays. Probably slightly.
Okay. I think, mate, your sounds a bit. Apologies all on the stream. We've had a few sound issues. I'm just gonna try and fix it quickly if I can. Be a second. Apologies for this all. And okay, we'll give that a go. Apologies, Paul. Have you got any rearranged Valentine's plans? I noticed you two were late on the, a little bit late on the stream this evening. I wasn't sure if you were finishing your meal or getting your end away, or or something else. Was it planned for later or another night?
No. My missus is round at our friend's garden, drinking wine through socially distancing.
Oh, right, okay, cool. And we also have former Sky winner Dan Cox with us. A good rise yesterday, I saw, Dan. Rearranged Valentine's plans as well for you?
Yeah, so I think I said on air I was going to cook. I ended up cooking a meal on Friday actually because I didn't have nothing in the fridge, so I picked up the old Marks and Spencer's, £20. So I cooked that Friday night. So I basically wanted to be free for now. I didn't want to be cooking a meal tonight, and then, do you know what I mean? Don't want to then go to reap the benefits of that meal. And actually now I've got the stream to do, so do you know what I mean? So I made sure everything was Friday.
Good work, mate. I'm doing a meal tomorrow evening, so hopefully hopefully I can get away with that. Can someone just confirm on the stream that you can hear us, please, guys? Apologies for this. We have had a few sound issues. I switched on the laptop and all the sound was going through all different channels. Our reset is better. There we go. It's all good. Apologies for that all. Okay, as we are live, please feel free to join in the chat at any time. We have a first-time listener, Martin Clark. Welcome, Martin. We're normally not as badly organised as this, believe it or not. It's the first time we've had an audio wish in a while, but very, very welcome, Martin. Please feel free to join the chat at any time. Let us know your thoughts on the topics or the relevant sections, and feel free to ask some questions for us to answer at the end. Good evening, all. We have a few with us this evening. Let's have a look. We've got Paul Fortune, Mike Neef, Peter G, Geo Boys, Norman, Brownie, Shot Raider, Reese Bloomer, Bart Brzezinski. That's a new name. Good evening, Bart. Leon Hobson, Luke Shilletto, and many, many others. Welcome all. If you are new, if this is your first time watching or listening and you haven't subscribed to us yet, please press the subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Set the alerts so you don't miss our live streams, which are 9 p.m. every Sunday evening right here on this channel. Also, please press the like button if you enjoy our content. So this evening, Paul is going to share some of the match day stats with us from this weekend from FF Stuff's wonderful, wonderful website. Dan will share some ownership stats. And then we have some Twitter questions. We'll look at some transfers remaining as well. And we'll finish off with Dan's rant. We'll also have a quick look at the mini leagues as well. So firstly, Paul, we've got the match centre from this weekend. Do you want to run through the key stats?
Yeah, because we've only got the one and a half a game week's worth of games after the overhaul, I'll just go through the match centre. and I'll revert back to the aggregated bonuses for future weeks. So looking at the Leicester-Liverpool game, this might help people with Gundogan's out for a longer period of time, because Leicester got some nice assets in there. We know that they've got a double game week coming up as well because of the FA Cup postponed games getting pushed forward. So you see Barnes picked up shots here there. Dan's favourite, Vardy, tier 2 shots. Tielemans picking up tackling bonus, and Didi picking up tackling bonus, and then Sky fantasy legend Ricardo Pereira picking up tier 2 tackles as well. So some nice Leicester options for those that might want to make a switch once information's confirmed there. Usual suspects for Liverpool: Salah and Firmino picking up shots bonus, and Henderson and Robertson picking it up passing bonus, and then Alexander Arnold 9 tackles. Pretty impressive.
9.
Yeah, I think that was, he gave the ball away more times than anybody else in any other game in Premier League this season, and he also got the second and third in stats for that, for giving the ball away in other games in Burnley, and I can't remember what the third game was. Crystal Palace Burnley, not too much to talk about in terms of bonus there, just picking up the tier 1 saves, and Benteke picking up tier 2 shots. Man City Spurs, and all the Manchester City back 4 picking up passing bonus. I was surprised there wasn't many gambles on Zinchenko in overhaul, especially those that were perhaps trying to make up some ground. He did the double on the passes and the tackling bonus, so a nice 13-point haul for Zinchenko.
Apologies, yeah. Paul, getting some notes in the chat that no one can hear anything. It's my fault. It's the text fault. What we will do, guys, we'll just go off air for a few minutes and try and get it sorted. We'll use this stream back again, but obviously we want to make sure that it all works, that we're not just rambling on. You can't hear anything, so we'll go off air for a little bit now and come back on. So if you could just bear with us, we won't be long, hopefully. Thanks all. Hello all. Apologies. So I can't seem to fix the issue, probably without doing a complete reboot and sorting everything out. So we will try and carry on the best I can. I'll record the audio as well separately so we can get the podcast out version okay. So we'll do our best. If you can hear us, great. If not, we will.
Fergie,
go on.
We just see Hornets, but he can hear, but it's poor quality. That's fine, mate. It's the same as normal.
Exactly. Yeah. It's normally just the content that's poor quality, but the sounds we'll give it a go anyway. So
thank God this worked last week, eh?
I know. Imagine. Okay, Paul. Apologies. You carry on, mate, from where you were.
That's all right. So yeah, I was talking about the Man City Spurs game. I covered the defence. So Rodri, a nice haul from him, picking up passing bonus, tackle bonus. Obviously took the penalty as well. So a nice return for those that loaded up with Man City. And then Højbjerg was quite surprising. He picked up tackling and passing bonus. So a nice 8-pointer for those that went with Højbjerg as well.
Yeah.
And then the last game from yesterday was Brighton against Villa. Other than Martinez's 9 saves that picked up the tier 2 saves bonus, probably not too much to talk about. Dunk picked up passing bonus, so those that have went for Dunk in light of the single captaincy day coming up returned a nice 9-pointer there. The thing I would say about Villa is they've kept 3 clean sheets in the last 4 games, but their expected goals conceded over 7, which I think's crazy. Like, that's obviously unsustainable. So I certainly wouldn't be looking to double up if I was making any defensive changes for Villa. And then moving on to today's games, then so I'll just get those up on the screen. So it started off with the Southampton Wolves game, which I'm quite annoyed about because I watched the first half and Vestergaard was on 41 passes, nice clean sheet. Southampton went out for 45 minutes, came back, seen the 60 passes, or 3 points will do. And then Opta since removed the additional pass, so it's down to 59. It's just ridiculous from Sky's point of view. I can understand the time they take the cuts, but they should just do it full time, and then it's never going to cause these issues. Romeo, nice double with the tackles and passes bonus as well. Probably not much else to speak about in terms of bonus from that game. West Brom, Man United, the two Man United centre halves picking up monster passes, so picked up passing bonus there. Bruno picked up shots bonus and pass bonus. Opta find the 5 or 6 passes down the side of the couch again.
Vestergaard's wins, weren't they?
Well, yeah, probably. And then Arsenal Leeds, which is on the screen just now. Aubameyang obviously picking up shots bonus for his hat trick. Liam Cooper picked up passing bonus. I don't think many people would have went for him on the overhaul though. And then in the last game, it won't be up on screen just now, but the two Everton centre halves picking up passing bonus again.
Yeah.
And Josh Masha, I watched Sunderland Till I Die on Netflix, so that's how I know who he is. He's on loan, obviously picking up shots bonus for his double tonight, so
nice.
He might be a nice alternative for those looking for a full-on player or a budget striker moving forward.
How much is he, Paul, or of interest?
I think he's 7 point something. I'll tell you right now. 7.5.
7.5, okay. Stiggy82 was hurrying up while we were off air, but come on, lads. Our lassie's waiting upstairs for the best 2 minutes of her life. Fantastic. Hope you hope you go and sort her out. It looks like that the volume's a little bit better, so hopefully that has helped a little bit. And Norman Conquest said Dallas must have had Orba captain in Sky after their performance. I think Dallas finished on, was it -2 or something like that? Was it? It wasn't the bet. He got booked late on, didn't he? It's a bit of a horrific challenge actually, because as he was running through, I was looking at it, and he didn't like sweep him, lose his footing. He went in like studs up on his foot. I thought it was lucky actually just to get a yellow, but anyway. Okay, Dan, we've got the top 1K ownership now on screen if you want to run through it.
Yep, so took this today, so we're right up to date with it. Most of the players in the top 20 has stayed the same. Yesterday was pretty standard with the Man City win and, Gundogan scoring and stuff like that. So, we'll start with it. Bruno, 99.8%. Who are these two people without him in their team? Like, it must be diehard Liverpool fans or something, mustn't they? The German fellow who plays for Man City in midfield, who keeps scoring, he's in 93.7. He's just on a real form. What's the Paul? You said you saw a bit of an update on his injury. I don't know if it's from a confirmed source, but what did you see in the last hour or so?
Someone tweeted and tagged Sam Lee, the journalist Sam Lee, saying that he's out for 3 to 4 weeks, but I would hold that as a rumour as opposed to confirmed at this stage.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's in 93.7%. So if he is out for 3 or 4 weeks, that's a bit of a problem for quite a lot of us. Diaz 86.4, got an in start at the weekend. Cancelo 82.8, Salah 78.3, Bamford 69.6, John Stone 61.9, Edison 58.7. What an assist! Sterling 54%, and then Jack Grealish 46.2%.
Okay, so Gundogan. Then we may as well look at that. If Gundogan is out for 3 or 4 weeks, obviously we don't know yet. I think we're going to get a presser, aren't we? I think it's Tuesday afternoon. I saw when Pep does his presser ahead of the Everton game. If Gundogan is out for 3 to 4 weeks, what are your thoughts on that? I'm assuming it's replacement because 3 or 4 weeks is like 6 or 7 matches as well, right? So in terms of replacements, nearly 94% of the top 1,000 will have to find a replacement. Dan, have you got any immediate replacement thoughts for that sort of price and position?
Yeah, so if you haven't got a player for tomorrow, even Chelsea or West Ham. Do you know what I mean? Great opportunity now to, make a move to get someone in. Or if you have for tomorrow, then what about next Monday? Do you want to bring in a Brighton player? You might be stuck on formation, like you have to go out for another midfielder, which would be ideal. But if you could then get to Dunk or something like that, would be good. But yeah, I'd be looking at that. So I don't know when we're supposed to be getting these next fixtures. I looked at all of Ian's predictions and stuff to try to work out what we're going to need. But if we had something actually confirmed in, like you were then going to need a Southampton player or an Aston Villa player. Like, I ain't got a Villa player, so do you know what I mean? I could just swip him out to a Grealish or something like that, But I'd be looking ahead and seeing how you can make it benefit you rather than that's a nightmare, because everyone's going to be in the same boat pretty much. So it's about how you react to it.
I saw
a good opportunity if they're announced. I know Ben Crellin's predicting that they get announced on Friday, and then Wolves play Leeds just ahead, just to the start of Leeds' double game week. So it might be a good opportunity to get on maybe Rafinha if you don't own Rafinha, some midfielder, Jack Harrison. Also, Southampton's got a double, and Romeo's still picking up passing and tackling bonus, so he might be an option as well. And they have a double and potentially a double the following week too.
I was thinking as well, we've got some questions we'll answer a bit later, but a couple of them are around, Brighton players as well. There is the potential to maybe move from Gundogan, obviously depending on formation, because there's probably not many mids you'd fancy from Brighton. Probably Gross is the only one who's been doing anything, but that could be an option. Some of the suggestions in the chat are Rafinha off Norman and Hornet, Martin, Dan Perry. Like they've all said Foden. Stiggy and Carlito said Saka looks good. Agree. The only thing with Saka is his fixtures. His next 4 or 5 fixtures are probably as bad as they get. I think they got something like
Man City next, didn't they?
Yeah, and then Leicester, and then Burnley, and then I think it might be Spurs after that. So, but he's looked amazing for his price.
Sorry, Fergie. Dan Perry he won the Knockout Cup.
Oh, well done, Dan. Was that £1,000? Was it?
Yeah, £1,000. He did tweet. He said that our podcast with you two has really helped him improve his overall game and helped him get a top 100 last year and now win a Knockout Cup. If anything says 3 pints, that's that.
many congratulations, Dan. First award of the season. Well done, Dan. That's excellent work. Ian Parrin says Barnes or Maddison potentially as replacements. Obviously, they look really, really good, and they're likely to have a double game week in a couple of weeks as well. Mike Neve says Rodri. Well, for those who haven't got Rodri, I was tossing up personally between Rodri and Grealish, and I went for Grealish as a bit of like a coverage sort of pick, both in terms of ownership but getting the extra team for the captaincy. And obviously Rodri's, not only is he fit, but he goes and takes the bloody penalty as well, which is unbelievable. Geo Boys says Neto, potentially, if you are looking for someone for that Wolves game, maybe, but yeah, there's some, they're all very, very, very good alternatives there. Paul, have you got any more in there?
No, I'd mentioned Rafinha and Romeo. Obviously, if you don't have Grealish as well, it could be an option to move on to. Villa are going to get rescheduled games at some point.
Cool. Okay, Dan, on to average transfers remaining. I'm trying to talk a bit quieter because apparently I'm very, very loud. I'm trying to talk a bit quieter to even out the sound between all three of us. Average transfers remaining, Dan.
So this was, I can't remember when this was. I'll read it out anyway. I can't remember when it was.
I looked. It was the 11th. Whenever the 11th was, I think that was Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was after the last game.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have changed anyway, would it? So it was unlimited. But so top 10 was 11.3. Top 100 was 13.4. Top 1,000 was 14.1. And the top 5,000 was 12.7.
Okay, and thankfully I'm just above those still, but it's going to be very, very hard. Obviously with the 94% on Gundogan as well. If the rumour is true, he's going to be out for a while. Then you'll probably knock another one off. At least the first 3 of those if not the fourth. Just a question of Mark Aston, interestingly enough. Do you three watch wrestling? And who was your favourite wrestler? I've only called this out because Paul is a wrestling fan, aren't you, Paul? Who's your favourite wrestler of all time?
Probably Shawn Michaels.
Okay. Who's yours, Dan? Have you got a favourite wrestler?
I can't say I really know any of them, mate, to be honest.
No.
I remember... I don't know, mate. I don't know about favourite. I remember like Undertaker and Kurt Angle or someone like that.
Who? Kurt Angle? I've never heard of Kurt Angle.
He's won a gold medal, like
Olympics.
Legit.
Oh, really?
Olympics.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. I don't know that.
With a broken neck.
Well, I was of an era of Demolition, the Hart Foundation, the Rockers, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Randy Savage,
Shawn
and all
Michaels was
that.
in the Rockers.
Yes, he was with. Hang on, to tell me, Marty Jannetty.
That's right,
Anyway,
yeah.
welcome to the wrestling podcast from back from the 90s. We'll get off that. Luke Shillito's was the Big Show. The Hulks was the Ultimate Warrior. Steve's the Ultimate Warrior. Sean Thorpe was Coco Beware. Todd Stone Cold Steve Austin. Phil Speck, Legion of Doom. Yeah, they were brilliant with the red things with the spikes and all that, wasn't they? We're getting a lot of love actually for the Shirley Crabtree Best UK Wrestler. We're getting a lot of love for the wrestling chat. Maybe we can do a dedicated one. Paul's a big fan. He's been to WrestleMania 3 times, Paul. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm in America. So anyway, let's get back on to topic, and let's have a look at the games coming up next weekend. So Friday the 19th of February, we have Wolves against Leeds. You would hope that probably most people have got a Leeds player in for that. Then on Saturday, we have Southampton, Chelsea, the early game, Burnley, West Brom, Liverpool, Everton, Fulham, Sheffield United. Then on Sunday the 21st, West Ham against Spurs, Villa against Leicester, Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Newcastle. And then Monday the 22nd is that game which we've all been talking about, Brighton against Crystal Palace. So Paul, can I ask you first, what are the kind of general plans of captains and any potential transfer opportunities?
Yeah, Wolves, Leeds. I'll be on Bamford, and I guess Bamford, Rafinha, and Dallas will probably be the 3 most popular picks for that.
Say so.
The Saturday's an interesting day because those that didn't go Salah to start with, I assume I'll either be on Pope for obviously Burnley or at home at West Brom, so it's a nice game for him, or the Chelsea asset that they own for captaincy tomorrow night. They're hoping that they play twice and then cover them off there. I'll be on Salah for that. And then on Sunday, Bruno, I think, is a default pick for me. Well, I've got Kane as well already, so I avoided loading up on City to, I guess, my detriment, but knowing that I'm trying to conserve transfers a little bit, I started with Kane and Salah, knowing that I was going to want them in at some point. I'll probably still captain Bruno, although Kane could be an option there. And then Brighton, Crystal Palace, I've decided to forego that game.
Oh, wow.
So I won't have a captain, and I'm not bringing one in.
Okay. Anything different there, Dan, at all?
No, Bamford Friday. Well, yeah, there is. Bamford Friday, Salah Saturday, Bruno Sunday, and Sanchez Monday.
Oh, wow. Okay, you got Sanchez in. I think I'll be doing the same. Bamford, probably Salah, Bruno, and then on the Monday. So I haven't got a Brighton player, but I have got Azpilicueta, and I had a little bit of a plan. Again, you have a plan, but obviously you've got to be kind of fluid, maybe, and see how things go and see how teams are playing, look at injuries, etc. But I did have a plan to shift on potentially Azpilicueta onto Dunk, so you get the 2 games plus the 1 captaincy out of Azpilicueta. Put him onto Dunk, who will then get 2 games plus 1 captaincy, and then I can then shift him onto Kane for when Kane's nice run starts the week after. I think against Burnley, so we could, like I say, do Aspi onto Dunk, and then the following weekend Dunk will play again, and then I can move him on to Kane then the following day, and then I'll have that full, Kane, Salah, and Bamford. But I think Dunk against Palace, the way Brighton are playing, could be, quite a profitable move. Because Palace look absolutely woeful, don't they, at the moment, and Brighton's defence, is that 5 or 6 clean sheets on the bounce now they've had? They're in unbelievable defensive form. So yeah, just briefly, gents, obviously we're getting to the business end of the season, right? So in terms of sharing exact teams and plans and stuff, I think we're gonna probably move away from that, because Paul and Dan especially are moving kind of towards the cash, maybe the big maybe the big money.
Away from it.
If you're moving away, but in terms of this whole going all in on City, which we touched on last week, I think in the end I went with 5. I went with the keeper and 3 defenders and Gundogan. I was thinking of going a bit more, maybe Rodri, maybe Sterling. I went off Sterling because I just kind of thought, in terms of the value, you basically need Sterling to score, don't you, to kind of match someone like Stones, and that's why I went for the extra defender ahead of Sterling. Did you guys go all in on City, or did you go a bit lighter?
I got 6.
6, okay. So
yeah,
you
got Rodri.
Oh, nice. I bet you were loving it yesterday when he stepped up for the penalty.
I was worried, mate. I thought it was going to be a minus points. I thought he was going to miss. He could give me -3.
He nearly.
So yeah, buzzing when Lloris sold.
He nearly missed, didn't he?
Custard hands, let it in.
Custard hands. How about you, Paul? You kind of half and half.
4.
Only 4, right? Okay, that's interesting. So you've got your but you held your rank yesterday. So even with a 3-0 win, which you would have thought that City players would have smashed it and you would have dropped rank, you still held.
When I looked yesterday during the day, so I wouldn't have taken into consideration moves that were made yesterday morning, but up till I guess cut off from Sky on Friday night, the average City assets held, the effective ownership in the top 1,000 was 4.14.
Right.
So I knew that even with the 4 players, I couldn't have had that bad a day yesterday.
Okay. There
will be teams that are like Dan's that's loaded up, but there's obviously teams that haven't. So.
And Dan, you rose just kind of looking at your rank. So you went from, was it 181 to 111? So you're.
Yeah, I was a bit higher until they added them 2 points on for Harry Kane.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because they forgot, didn't they? Or something went wrong, didn't it? But yeah, what am I 111 now? So yeah, I don't know. Maybe drop a bit down tonight. I did think I've still got 19 transfers, so I did think I could probably. I still fancy myself for a top 10 or something like that. I do think that's not beyond the realms of possibility. Obviously, if everything goes to plan, top is 130 points ahead of me. And you think, oh yeah, well, with them average transfers though, there's still quite a lot they've got in it. 11.3. There might be a team in there with 0, so it pushes the rest up.
Yeah.
But then you look who's actually top. Michael Shipley. He's good, and he's good at fantasy football. He's won Sky twice.
All right. God, so he's on his way to a 3rd. We could be not only heading to Vegas end of the season, we could be having a big old party as well, Dan, by the sound of it. If you or Paul can win Sky and I can hold on in Dream Team, we are going to have a hell of a summer, mate.
UK tour, mate. Get that camper van sorted out.
On the UK tour. Okay, so we'll move on to some questions then. So FF Staff Frank said, Zinchenko, are we overlooking Zinchenko? Interesting stat that he has scored more points than Diaz in the last 6 weeks. So, there's obviously the rotation thing, right? But Paul, what are your thoughts on potentially, bringing in Zinchenko?
I think we see the City lineup this week is no, we won't because they're away they're in the second game. Because if you saw the City lineup against those that were looking for a Gundogan replacement, could have moved directly on him if you knew that he was going to play. I think he is a great asset, and the fact that there won't be many players on 5 Man City defenders if you're counting Ederson, Cancelo, Diaz and Stones, getting the 5 is obviously going to boost you up the ranks when City do keep clean sheets. So definitely a great shout, and probably have overlooked them. When he plays,
he nails the passing, don't he? He's always kind of passing it back and forth between him and.
He was a midfield. He's a converted midfielder.
Yeah,
left back, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a really good player. And Dan, do you think he's being overlooked?
Yeah, I do like him. I didn't see anyone mention him at all. And I think he's pretty nailed on it at the minute. So, yeah, no, I do like him. I'll put him in the Sun team if that's any help, but not the Sky team.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think the three most nailed players, aren't they? Are Stones, Diaz, and Cancelo, and then you seem to have Zinchenko seems to be a bit more nailed than Walker, but it's Laporte as well. Kind of Laporte and Zinchenko seem to be sharing a bit. Walker's getting the odd game, but yeah, it's a tough one because if he's not playing, you'd be moving him in, but then in a few weeks you'd be moving him out again because obviously City have got this massive run of fixtures now. Personally, I'm not sure it's worth it. I wouldn't do it. If you started with him at overhaul, absolutely fine, but I personally wouldn't be doing it. But question of Auto Reclose around Antonio. So he took a risk on Antonio. I don't know if any of you saw Antonio's tweet an hour or two ago. I am going to hand, but if you haven't looked at it, look at Michael Antonio's tweet a couple of hours ago. It's a Valentine's related one. It's absolutely superb. So if you have got a minute, take a look at that. But Auto Reclose asks, so he's got Antonio for tomorrow. If he doesn't play, would you use a transfer to get in a play-in Chelsea player or get in just someone who's playing, or do you just kind of accept, look, I took a risk, it didn't work, and kind of leave him in for the rest of the run? Dan, can I ask you first what you would do in that circumstance?
If he don't start, yeah, I might be that annoyed. I'll just fire him out for Jorginho or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think they've got a tricky few games, haven't they? Like tomorrow is the best game, and then I think they've got a few tricky games, West Ham. So yeah, I'd probably be that annoyed. I'd just fire him straight out.
Paul, yourself?
Yeah, I'd probably take him out as well, based on West Ham's fixtures not being great after that.
Yeah, agree with that. I would do that as well. Adrian Tor asks, should we be looking at captain goalies more? And Mark Shares also says, should we be looking at captaining Edison a bit more if we've got Edison? Paul, any immediate thoughts on goalkeepers as captains?
I certainly think that captaining Ederson when you can't see Man City's team sheet is
that's a good show.
It's a viable option. Because realistically, what are you going to lose out on by doing that and then conceding? Well, he's going to get 2 points. He's going to get 2 points compared to Stones or Diaz picking up 5 probably. I don't think it's a massive gamble doing that. I think it could be quite wise.
That's a really good shout. If you think he matched Stones, he got the saves yesterday, didn't he? But in a normal match, Stones gets 9 or 10 or whatever it is, and Edison will get a minimum of a 9. So I think I think that's really good advice. If you can't see the team sheet, then Edison is probably a really good alternative. Really good advice there, Paul. Dan, anything else on that one?
No, exactly the same. I think we said it the other week, didn't we? Like, if you just, I think I've been lucky on some of them because I got Cancelo when he got the 50-pointer, and then captain, Diaz when Cancelo then didn't start. So yeah, if you're worried, just go Edison. He will play. It might be the end of the season. He might get a rest. I think that's happened a few seasons gone. But yeah, for now, if you're worried about which one to captain, just go for Edison. Might take the next pen.
Okay. We had questions off Reese FF and FPL off spinner around, if we haven't got coverage for Brighton, kind of knowing what we know now, is it a good idea to go for, the Brighton cover or just get in another City player? Because, they just beat Spurs very, very comfortably. I know that Kane hit the post, right? But other than that, they didn't really have a sniff. Just thinking about maybe someone like Zinchenko, maybe Rodri, maybe someone they haven't got. Do you think, it's a good idea to just shift on to another City player or cover the captaincies for Brighton? Or what do you think, Dan?
If you ain't got Rodri, then he's a really safe bet. Any passing, I can't remember if he got tackles yesterday or not, but he's capable of getting both. And I don't think he'll be taking any more penalties. But Rodri's a safe sort of 5-pointer most weekends, so I've got him. So yeah, if I didn't have him, I'd probably just shift onto him.
Yep.
Foden might be a shout, but then I know he's been unbelievable, but then it just wouldn't surprise you if he didn't start the next game, would it? You know what he's like, but I think he's a good shout. He's the same sort of price, so Foden, yeah.
He seems to be quite hit or miss. I'm a massive fan of Foden's, but he seems to get like a goal and assist, and maybe some kind of bonus, or he seems to get absolutely nothing, don't he? I think it's the way that potentially how they line up in a particular game, but who they're playing against as well. Some teams allow Foden all that room on the one side, and some teams like yesterday, I think he had the one shot or potential assist, but other than that, he didn't have much. And it's funny. He seems to be feast or famine, don't he, Foden?
I'll just bung him in for the 6 or 7 games, however long you want him for, and just accept that a couple of games will be 2 pointers, and the others might be 8 pointers, or just go with it.
Paul, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think City are running out of midfielders to play, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Injured, so I'm not sure. I imagine Foden will get even more minutes than what he's had thus far this season. Certainly until Gundogan's back or De Bruyne's back.
And let's be honest, he's there on merit, right? Because he's been, like I say, as a player, absolutely outstanding. One of their most effective players in this second half of the season. Luke Ndien asks, Peltier at West Brom, 4.7 million seems to be favoured over Furlong at the moment. West Brom's fixtures actually, I think, are quite decent for the next few.
He got taken off at half time today.
Yeah, he had a knock though, I think, didn't he? He had a knock in the first half, so maybe that's why. But obviously we've got, I can never say the Fulham defender's name at 5.2, but do you think that the Peltier, if fit, obviously, is an option or not? Paul's shaking his head.
He was the one that Callum Patterson was in competition with for the.
He was for Cardiff. That's right. Yeah,
season.
He was. Yeah.
And he was round at the same price. I don't know. It feels to me like that budget wasn't necessarily an issue when picking an overhaul team.
Agree.
So I'm not. I think there's so many good enablers. Dallas, maybe not so much today. Vestergaard, Rafinha, Romeo,
Kufal.
and cheaper goalkeepers as well. I'm not looking for that uber budget defender that's an enabler.
Dan, any love?
No, unless De Bruyne comes back and starts scoring 2 goals a game or something like that, and I don't know, you want to flip an 8 million midfielder to him and save some money, but no, like Paul said, there's so many cheap good players that I could have picked an overhaul side with about 4 or 5 million in the bank, I think.
Yeah. Sky FPL Warrior says Leeds defender Strike is 5 million as well. Obviously, he looked very dangerous last week. I can't think who he played, but he had like
Crystal
Palace. Yeah, he had 3 headers, didn't he? Nearly scored, and then he finally scored. I'm assuming he gets passing a lot as well. Obviously, him and Cooper tossed the ball back and forth. Did he this afternoon, Paul?
No, he got half the passes from Cooper, so they roll the ball out to Cooper. Mesley rolls the ball out to Cooper to start the play. Strike only got 35.
Oh wow! Okay.
The two lead centre halves tend to get tackles quite a lot though.
Okay.
Cooper got 3 tackles today and some tackle bonus a few times this season as well, and Strike got 2. So.
Okay, Andrew Patterson in the chat, is Mopai effective 3-for-1 over Salah? As ridiculous as it first appear, given it's against Palace and West Brom. Dan, first thoughts on Mopai?
The numbers make sense, don't they? Like a 3-for-1, and with the captaincy and that. So I just don't know. I've got the goalkeeper, and I'm not overly. Do you know what I mean? I could have done a Paul and swerved it really. Probably not for me, but he could get a goal. I honestly don't know.
Paul, any love for Mopai?
Is Fergie frozen, or is he still thinking?
No, I'm here. Go on.
For me, if I was looking at it, right, you're going to bring and then take them back out 2 transfers. What would you want as a minimum to cover the 2 transfers?
Yeah,
30 points, I think. So he's going to have to get at least a goal and shots tier 2 against Palace, and then a goal and shot tier against West Brom as well.
Yeah.
To justify it.
Yeah.
Not worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's worth for 2 transfers in terms of the back and forth, but I personally think it could be worth it in terms of like a daisy chain. So just for me, for example, if I was going from Aspilicueta maybe onto Mopai, maybe onto Kane, for example, I think there could be some value there, because Brighton had something like, was it 20 shots last night or something ridiculous like that? They're very, very, very attacking. They're playing Palace and West Brom, in those as well. So, hello, can you hear me? Oh, hang on, gents, it's reconnecting. Apologies. You can hear me, can you?
He's back.
Oh, apologies, guys. Well, I'm an absolute bloody nightmare this evening. I do apologise.
You are, mate.
I thought you were laughing because I said that I think that Mopai is actually quite a decent option, because I think he's got a bit more upside potentially than someone like Dunk. If you're thinking of going for Dunk. Are you laughing again because I'm here, or laughing because of the pick?
No, I'm laughing because you think he's got a bigger upside than Dunk.
Oh, really? I think Mopai is all right. I think he's all right. Apologies, everyone. I'm having an absolute nightmare this evening with the tech. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully it's all. Hopefully now it's all back.
Oh my God! Of the season, that's all
we
right.
did. We did. The tech is packing up. I'll make sure I get it fixed for next time. Okay, that is us done for the questions. So we'll just have a little look at the mini leagues. So in 10th place in the Hub £500 league, Katie O'Neill. In 9th place, Liam Gray. 8th place, Pete Kemp. 7th place, Luke Williams. Super puzzle fighter. Well done, Luke. Absolutely had I think I saw yesterday, I think he scored 86 from like the Man City match alone. I think he must have properly loaded up with, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 Man City players. So well done, Luke. Great stuff there. 6th, Peter Brown. 5th, Colin Price. 4th, Tala Nadeem. 3rd, Oliver Colgan. 2nd, Peter Brown. And 1st, Kerry Vintis. So Kerry was top. I think he or she has moved into 2nd or 3rd, but well done everyone there. Absolutely fantastic stuff there in the Hub League. And finally, the Four Nations League. 8th place, Liam's second team. 7th place, my podcast team, which determined next year to do a better job of that. 5th place, Dan's team, French Football Hub 2. 4th is mine then, so I've slipped back a little over the last week or two just for the overhaul. Made a mistake not captaining Salah and things like that, but 3rd, Dan Cox 2231. 2nd, Liam Dorrian 2246, and top of the shop just ahead of Liam. So Paul was ranked 71st overall from last night, and I'm assuming you captained Bruno, Paul, so you'll be holding rank. Yeah, I would guess.
I've got Rafinha as well and Bamford, so I don't mind telling my team.
No, it's all good.
No, that I've mentioned that.
No,
they're at home, so. I
think everyone's probably worked out your team now, Paul, out of all that. So that is that. Okay, so finally, Dan, what's upset you this week?
Your computer.
I know it's upset me as well. I'm absolutely furious. For those
annoyed me.
Go on.
Well, I'll start off with a positive first, right? So last week we had 4,437 views. It's the most we've ever had on YouTube, which is pretty mad considering last year we had about 100 people watched us. So 4,400, I'm pretty impressed with that. I know 1,000 of that is probably FPR managers from foreign country. You don't know what we're banging on about.
Looking to take a -4.
And 2,000 watched the one on Friday, so in a couple of days that's had 2,000. So thanks for watching and watching the stream and giving it a like and everything like that. We do appreciate it, and thanks for tuning in, any questions and all of that. So thanks. What annoyed me? So the snow annoyed me last week, right? It didn't snow Saturday, Sunday. It snowed Sunday night, didn't it? So I wake up Monday, it's like half a foot of snow. Nightmare that is, trying to get to work, and it's still here. And, that's annoyed me. And then the school annoyed me, right? I'm trying to do this homeschooling, right? They say, don't worry, don't stress. We know times are hard and, you know what I mean, it's a stressful time. Well, can you stop sending me 10 hours of schoolwork to do for the kids? Just like they've got to write 3 sentences and that'll be that. You get all this stuff and I don't understand what it's on about. I'm having to Google this, like write a sentence with a pronoun and a something, and I'm like, a what and a what now? I don't understand. The 6-year-old tells me, so okay. So that annoys me. They're snowed, right? Both my kids' schools are about a quarter of a mile from each other. There's a first school, middle school, they call it a junior, and then whatever. First middle school, then a quarter mile apart, right? On Wednesday, one of them was closed because of the snow, but the other one, a quarter mile away, was open. How do you work that out? You know what I mean? Or they do like the boiler's broken down, or that old chestnut. So that annoyed me. I did tell you earlier, right? I'm in a bit of bad books, right? Missy was like, can you get that bed sheet out of the airing cupboard or whatever? We changed the bed and that. And I was like, yeah, which one? She said this yellow one. And we've got about 4, they're all yellow. She went to the one with triangles on it. I don't know, they've all got different bloody patterns on it. I don't know. So I'm going through it, can't find this one. She's like, well, I didn't bought that long ago. Do you know what I mean? It cost like 40 quid or, you know, where's this thing? I don't know. Then she goes, but this old one's here that I told you to bin, but that's the one in there. What I've done is I've used the brand new duvet back in about September, right, to paint my fence, yeah. And because I've got artificial grass, I didn't want anything going on the grass, so I've used this duvet to like catch all the paint stain and everything like that, right? Then I just binned it. Then it dawned on me today, Jesus, I've binned the new duvet, but kept the old one. Do you know what I mean? I don't think she's tweaked what I've done. So I don't know if I now need to like try to buy this. I can't remember where she got it from. I need to go and buy this duvet and then blag that it was right at the back of the airing cupboard or whatever, or I just tell her that I've been the new one and I've kept the old one or whatever. So
40 quid to paint the fence. 40 quid.
Nightmare, mate. You know, should have just got someone in to do it. So yeah, that's about it for me for this week, mate.
Good. Good rants. I'm just going to rant about the tech again. I can't apologise enough for those who don't know me. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so I'm feeling a bit. I'm feeling a bit sick about all this, what's going on this evening, but we'll do it. Just some guys in the chat just talking about the amount of cash they've got in the bank. Phil Speck has got 4.1 and 9.8. And Sean Thorpe, FF Thinker, has got 11.6 million in the bank. That's crazy. That's got to be a record. If anyone can beat 11.6, put it in the chat. Just going to join in on the schoolwork rant a little bit. I got to be fair. My kids' schools have been quite reasonable, in giving enough work. But my son this week on the Friday, they always do this, like family task, right? And a Friday for me is a very busy day. We get all the articles on the hub. You usually got like the deadline work. So I'm really, really busy on a Friday, for most of the day and into the evening. So I haven't really got a lot of time to help out with a lot of stuff. This week, they said for Valentine's Day, you've got to make a 3-course meal, right? My son's 8. My son is 8 years old. And think of the effort of having to actually, make a 3-course meal with my son. You have to firstly, obviously, think of what it's all about. Go out and buy all the ingredients. Go and make it and everything. I was like, you're having a laugh. Where's the sums gone? So and there's people as well who can't afford to go out and just make a bloody 3-course meal, from just for some school tasks. So yeah, I feel your pain there, Dan, with some of the school stuff. But yeah, we didn't make a 3-course meal. So I'll have to let his school know that. I'm
just hoping the kids go back soon. I think in our country we're finding out in a couple of weeks whether they go back in March or something like that. So
8th of March in England, isn't it? I think
something like that. Get them back. I'll get the old jab on next weekend. So might be allowed down the pub with some old people soon.
Norman says, I stopped homeschooling. They do housework now. I like that, Norman. Wish I could do that. And Todd's after his mug. Apologies, Todd. You should have received it. I will check up on that and make sure that you've got your mug from the hub quiz we did a while ago. Go on.
The Viz. I got my youngest son to pick. I got him. Everyone who retweeted it. It was only about 18. They obviously didn't want it. I got him to look through the avatars or whatever and pick. So he picked Tim Barry because he looks like Grandad. So Tim, that's the good news. The bad news is Grandad's 70, but there you go.
Tim, you've won the Viz Annual called the Wizard Sleeve on there. Was that right?
Wizard Sleeve.
Fair play to Tim as well, because I know he was on Sky first thing this morning, because they allowed teams to carry over points from
nightmare.
Teams into the league.
Yeah, I saw that. I feel sorry for Tim. He put so much work in every year, don't he, with his his mini leagues. But yeah, he had a bit of a mare yesterday with Sky. Peter G said, I got a Groupon for a 3-course meal at a Chinese dessert. The dessert was an unpeeled orange. I'd be absolutely fuming. 3-course and unpeeled orange. Oh, Pete, I'd be furious at that. I should have done that yet if my son, shouldn't I? Should have said, you can have Pringles for starter, sandwich for lunch, and an orange for dessert. Phil Speck, Weetabix with beans on, main course sorted, Jaffa cake pud, anyone for a starter. See, I don't think of this. Whenever I think of like a 3-course meal, I'm thinking of, I don't know, bloody cheesy mushrooms, bruschetta and steak and some nice dessert or whatever else. But there we go. Okay, that's it from us this evening. I can only apologise again, everyone, for the quality of the sound and the internet. I don't know what's going on. I've had an absolute nightmare this evening. I'll try and get the audio out. So if you haven't been able to make any of it out, then hopefully be able to get something out on the audio. Thank you so much for sticking with us, if you have, and as usual for supporting us and interacting with us on the stream. If everyone could retweet tomorrow, that would be most useful when we tweet it out. Dan, where can people find you?
Twitter, Dan Cox 82. I've got an article coming on that. I'm pretty much written it already, actually, for next week. Just start looking ahead and stuff, and captains and what moves you can be making to, coming into the business end of the season and all that. I know we're only just over halfway, but now's crucial. So just more about who to bring in and what teams you should be targeting and stuff like that. So that'll be good. So yeah, on the hub. Good
work. And man, Paul, where can we find you?
Yeah, Twitter at Paul McAnulty 1, MCANULTY.
Good stuff. Thanks for the comments, guys. I said it hasn't been that bad, the stream. Hopefully it's been okay. So this podcast and video will be on the Fantasy Football Hub, Sky and TFF YouTube channel, and also available in all major podcast platforms. Just to say, doesn't it, now the overhaul is done with, does it feel like for you guys as well, it's been like a bit of a weight lifted off the shoulder? It's been quite a lot of, of build up, haven't there? A lot of pressure and stress to make sure we've got these perfect teams. And now our teams are set up for the next week or two, or you've got your plan in place. It's just a bit, I felt that. Have you felt that?
Get a bit relaxed when it's like a minute, 12:31 on the Saturday is a bit like, oh, thank God that's done now.
Oh, definitely.
I've had it's going to sound sad, but I actually gave myself a headache like Friday night, like looking at stuff, and then Ian's sort of more fixture projections. You're trying to look at the fixtures and the transfers, and I then running out of time, like being at work, actually going into work, and then kids and trying to do all that. So there's some late nights. I give myself a headache, and then then it comes that time you're like, well, thank God, like that's done now. And then it's quite nice yesterday having like Rodri and stuff. I know I didn't think too many people out. I think it's only 63 of the top 1,000 teams or something yesterday. And it's like when you have someone like Rodri and you have a good start, you're like, oh yes, nice actually to have a good day. Yeah. You didn't have Aubameyang or someone today, but yeah, it is nice once it's done. You're like, right, that's done now. It's done.
I'm pissed off.
Why's that?
Because I picked Vestergaard and I was going to pick Dunk.
Oh right, okay. So and he missed his passes, didn't he, Vestergaard? Still looks okay though. I thought they got the extra fixtures and a captaincy day against pretty crappy Everton by the one this evening.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm half joking.
You have.
They'll have a single captaincy day, Southampton for sure, won't they?
Yeah, they are.
If score ahead of next week, you'll be buzzing.
Exactly. Okay, if you liked what you watched, if you did, please click the like button and remember to subscribe in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. If you enjoyed your listen, please rate the podcast and leave some comments. 5 stars and a comment would be wonderful on the podcast if you listen on Apple Podcasts. Our handles on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok are at FFH_HQ, and our podcast Twitter handle is at FFH_Sky. So please follow and feel free to ask any questions. Our website is fantasyfootballhub.co.uk, where you'll find everything you need for fantasy football all under one roof, including player comparison tools, the fixture ticker, up to stats, top player team reveals, and much, much more. Good luck to all our watchers and listeners this coming weekend. We'll be back next Sunday at 9 p.m. to look ahead to Gameweek 25, and the tech will be fixed, I promise you. Stay safe all, and good night.